I just don't think that it changes him as a coach or who he is and what he's going to do. He's not going to change, and he's very consistent in the way he coaches and how loyal he is to his players. And I just don't think one game here or there should make a person's career. But like I said, it would be a very special event for our family. We've been waiting a long time for this, and it is the biggest stage. It is the Final Four. It's a huge event, and for the school. And I know what it meant when Dick Bennett took the team. I saw State Street. It was crazy around there. People go nuts, and yeah, I just think it would be a great experience. But for us, it won't change how we view them. And I think the real fans and the people who actually understand the game know that that's not going to make or break a career.
State Street being crazy, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned it a little bit, but the looseness of this team I feel like is a little different than years past. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this team is winning with that looseness.
Especially tournament time. I'm watching Florida Gulf Coast last year. That was one of the loosest teams I've ever seen. And I remember when the underdogs, the Butlers and the VCUs and George Mason, how loose they were when they would show them in the locker room, and the coaches seemed loose, and I get that vibe around this team. And I think they're playing really well. But defensively against Baylor was about as good as I've seen them. And they're moving the ball well. They're gelling at the right time, and they're talented.
To go back to Bo for a second, I assume he's never talked about a Final Four like as in something he has to do. He just wants to win, right? I mean,
he's been to 5 Final Fours. He's won 4 of them, and obviously at this stage it would probably mean even more to him because it is the highest level. But I'm sorry, what was the question?
No, I mean, just the fact that, you talked about it, just the fact that it would change anything is kind of ridiculous. That notion is...
Well, that's just it. Win or lose versus Arizona. And you know what? Coach Miller, he hasn't been to one either, and they talk about how they're the best coaches, never go to a Final Four. Well, one of them's got to lose. And I just don't think it would change who either one of them are. They're both great coaches. You can see it. Like I said, the people who actually know the game of basketball, they can see what's going on. And the service that they're doing, for these college athletes, do it the right way, and they work hard, and it's a team atmosphere, and they're graduating players, and you do it for them.
Does the fact that your dad and his dad
Sure.
every year change anything?
What was that?
The fact that your dad goes to the Final Fours every year, whether obviously whether he's in it or not, does that show how special it is that
Yeah, he's been going for a long time, and I know how special it was for me and my brother going with my grandpa and my dad every year. We didn't go every year growing up, but when it was close by and he could get us there.
Sure.
It was very special to us, and the bond that my grandfather and my father had together, that was a huge part of it. Because they had been doing it for so long, and they never missed a year.
Right.
And now that he's passed away, it's going to be a different vibe. Whether the Badgers make it or not, it's going to have a different feel. But I do feel like if we can get there, he's going to be felt.
Oh yeah.
His presence will be felt.
I got to cover your dad when he took the first team at Platteville to Springfield and won it, and it just seemed to me back then, looking back, that game 1 through game whatever it was 31, it just seemed like every game was just another opportunity to coach, more than it was a big deal the further he got along.
Yeah, he's very consistent, and yeah, you're right. He does it for the student athletes. It's not about him. It never has been. He's never talked about himself in that way. It's always about the team and doing the right things and coming together. And those teams were very special. And to be around that atmosphere and to see the consistency and to see the bonding amongst the players and the coaches, and even the trainers, the staff, the managers. You can feel it.
Right.
You can feel the positive energy, and I get the sense around this locker room that these guys have that.